What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Combat and Kick It. It's your host, Bando, back at it with a fresh episode to talk about this main event we got this weekend, the first card of 2025, main evented by Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas. Now, these women fought back in 2019 with Amanda Ribas getting the decision win. Obviously, I got to come through and give a breakdown on it, so let's get into it. Let's go. Alright, so like I said, back at it with an episode, and we are breaking down Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas 2. It's an important matchup in that division. Obviously, like I said, these girls have faced off before, so they kind of know each other a little bit. But if you go back to their first fight, you're talking about early stages of both of their careers. Very early stages of both of their careers. Now, Amanda Ribas ended up getting the decision win. There was a lot of grappling, few on-the-feet exchanges, nothing crazy. I wouldn't say it was extremely one-sided, but Amanda Ribas definitely did do more, ended up getting the win. She beat her on the striking side. She beat her on the ground. But I look at Mackenzie Dern as being a much more dangerous opponent now than she was then. I think having certain fights from then to now, like the fights that she lost, I would say the one against Jessica Andrade, the fight against Jessica Andrade, that taught her a lot. I think that taught her a lot in ways of striking and seeing where the dog in her is at and everything like that. Now, Mackenzie Dern, obviously, we know the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is her key to victory 99% of the time. The other 1%, if she does land, cool. But she's not a powerful striker. Her striking is not technically sound, clean, in the pocket, anything like that. And not that Amanda Ribas is either. If you look at Amanda Ribas versus Marina Rodriguez, there was a huge striking gap difference there. You know, so it just depends on it depends on who really put more effort into what style going into this fight. Like, what's the game plan for either women, right? If Mackenzie Dern came in with the game plan of wrestling and doing jiu-jitsu and everything like that, obviously she's going to come in much more polished on that. I have a feeling Amanda Ribas is going to be coming in with the same idea, working with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because she's also a very good Jiu-Jitsu artist off her back. You know, just in general, getting the fight to the ground, she knows how to do it. She does it a lot of times when she's in danger. She's been clipped, she gets clipped, she does get in danger pretty often. But I would say in this fight, she probably is coming into this fight more Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu heavy. So the striking base that you're going to see on Saturday night is not going to be anything wonderful. I don't see anybody getting finished on the feet. I don't see any knockouts between these two women. Now, I could be wrong. If these women start off 2025 with a knockout, that's a crazy way to start the year. And it's not impossible, but the style of these two women, it wouldn't make sense for somebody to get KO'd. Now, I could see a finish on the ground, and the finish personally that I see happening is Mackenzie Dern getting the submission. Now, she's coming in as an underdog, probably because she lost the first fight, but I feel like Mackenzie Dern has come so far since then. She's come so far since then. Yes, she's had some losses. She's had some ups and downs. But skill-wise, I think she's a lot better than what we saw in 2019. And if she comes in with a little bit more polished on the feet than she did in her last few fights, I think she could secure this win. So, like I was saying with the skill set and everything like that these women have come leaps and bounds since 2019. And the reasons that they have is because they have faced many different challenges in between that time. Bigger challenges, bigger names, tougher opponents than they faced in the beginning. Like I said, Mackenzie Dern, she faced off with Jessica Andrade. You got her also losing to Amanda Lemos. Who knows, that could have been the fight to get her to a title shot possibly, because Amanda Lemos, if I remember correctly, went on to get a title shot after that. Maybe it was before, I could be wrong, but either way, you know, she got the loss against Amanda Lemos. But you learn in your losses. You do learn in your losses, especially when the opponent is much better than you. And you got finished by Andrade, and then you get a decision loss to Lemos, that does give you a lot to learn from, a lot to learn on the striking, and then different things you can work on through 5 rounds. And it's a main event, so it is a 5-round fight. I can see this being 5 rounds. You know, Amanda Ribas' last few fights, like she went up against Macy Barber, couldn't get it done against Macy Barber. Her last fight, who was her last fight against? Yeah, Amanda took that big leap this year and ended up fighting Rose Namajunas and losing. So you're looking at both women, both fought former champions, both lost. So they're getting to that point, but haven't exceeded that level, that expectation, right? People are expecting exactly what you get from these two women. If they go out there Saturday night, actually make a statement, put on a dope performance, get a finish, do something that you don't normally do. I mean, I'm looking through these fights and it's decision for all these women's wins. You need something more. Like Mackenzie, let's see when Amanda Ribas' last finish was November of 2023. She finished Luana Pinheiro. And before that, she doesn't have many finishes to begin with. You know, a couple submissions here and there, but nothing crazy. She subbed Paige Van Zandt. You know, she beat Ronda Marcos. Nothing crazy in the time. And then when you go to Mackenzie, I'm over here reading too many names. You know, when you go to Mackenzie DERN, when was her last finish? A submission over Nina Nunez, April 10th, 2021. Right? So it's been a minute for both of these women. They need a finish. Otherwise, you're talking about a boring 5-round decision fest. Yeah, it might be slightly technical on the grappling side, but you know the striking is not going to be. And look, this year I'm not playing no bullshit. I'm being honest with all of it. If it's going to be a trash fight, I'm going to tell you it's going to be a trash fight. And if it ends up being a phenomenal fight, I'm going to eat my words on the next episode. But either way, the way I look at it, this fight is not something that fans are going to be jumping out of their seats for. This card is not something people are going to be jumping out of their seats for. But it's the first card of the year. So therefore, we ain't going to miss it. We're going to be sitting in front of the TV watching this card regardless of what happens. I mean, you do have a couple other names on the card that a lot of people do like to see. There is one name on this card that I'm interested in the future of his career, and that's Roman Kopylov. If he gets a good win over Chris Curtis, that's a big statement to make. I don't think Chris Curtis is anybody that is anything more than like a gatekeeping style fighter. You know, I know that sounds kind of messed up, but realistically, I don't see Chris Curtis being somebody who's going to end up fighting for a title shot or anything like that. And he takes on tough fights. I do give him that. But Roman Kopylov is a tough opponent. He's good at striking. He's good on the ground. It's going to be a tough night for Chris Curtis, in my opinion. You got Cesar Almeida's on the card. You got Santiago Ponzinibbio's on the card. So, a couple people to look out for, a couple people to watch. But like I said, nothing crazy in this card. Obviously, later this month, we got the big card. UFC 311 is absolutely stacked. So you know I'm going to come through with a breakdown on that pretty soon. But I had to at least come through with a small little video. Even if it's only a few minutes long, I had to come through with a small little video. Not my best breakdown or anything like that. It's hard to break down a fight between two women who are known to going to decision for doing very similar things. Taking each other down, working on the ground, not necessarily laying and praying. There's some moments where you do see tough exchanges. Like Amanda Ribas, she does try to bring the heat. Now it could backfire on her. We've seen it backfire on her many times, but she could bring the heat if she wants to on the feet. It's just not clean technical striking or anything like that. It could be an interesting fight though, because sometimes the ones that you expect to be the most boring could end up giving you something that you never expected to begin with. So we'll see what happens. But I appreciate you guys for watching this episode. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Your boy Bando's out. Peace.